Hey, welcome back to Chris's Comments, show of common sense on common ground, no matter what the subject. Today's subject, Super Bowl 56 and why it sucked. It sucked because there were really no great plays done. And it was a struggle for both teams. They were all fouling up and forced turnovers. They were tons of incomplete passes. There were tons of getting sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Okay, now I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I really don't hate those two any more than I was rooting for them. But the oddball sort of thing about this is that it was like looking at the Bengals versus the Rams was like looking at the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, all the screw ups were going on that everybody claimed was what made Dallas Cowboys suck. Okay, but here's the thing: all of those screw ups were being done in the Super Bowl. That one all in one game. All in one game. I mean, that was messed up. That entire game, that entire match. It was jacked up, and I gotta reiterate, because up until now, I've been on the defensive for my Dallas Cowboys. You know, did they make it to the playoffs? Yeah. Did they get wiped off the first round? Yeah. However, all those other teams, you know, Tampa with Brady and so-and-so at Green Bay and such person over here at this place, and the Giants and the Falcons and the Chargers, you know, they were all supposed to beat our asses down. They were supposed to beat the Cowboys because the Cowboys, according to them, sucks. They fumble. They're always injured. They do this. They do that. They don't do shit. But time and time again, I have to point out that the Dallas Cowboys are always bounced out of the playoffs after they've kicked your team out. Okay? If you're not good enough to make it past the playoffs to beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, you have no business calling yourself Super Bowl material. Okay? Speaking of, now right back to the Super Bowl, where Bengals and Rams were constantly getting injured, constantly forced turnovers, again, constantly getting sacked behind the line of scrimmage, constant quarterback sacks, illegal plays, face masks. There was face mask galore, showboating. If any one of the Cowboys had done something like that, there would have been a penalty. There would have been a play do-over. There would have been a down lost. The refs would have made damn sure that the Cowboys got punished for any of that crap that went on during Super Bowl 56. That was total bull crap. What was going on with all this, the push, the roughing, and the face masks, the breaking down in fights? Somebody would have gotten bounced out if it was a Cowboys. You know? And that whole bizwax where they're holding each other down and tugging on their jerseys and all this stuff to keep them from catching the ball, to keep the opponent team from catching the ball, and getting penalized. You know? If a Cowboy had done that, you know, or if a Cowboy was trying to catch the ball and he was getting his jersey pulled, there would have been no ref pointing that out. There would have been no ref pointing that crap out. They would have said it was good. It was fair. Dallas Cowboys gets caught pulling one jersey or trying to desperately hang on to try to tackle this guy, and a shirt is pulled, the uniform shirt tail is pulled. Oh, 15-yard penalty on the Cowboys. You know, it would have just been such bullcrap calls, which is what I was expecting every time I saw something like that. It would have been a huge, I was supposed to see a bunch of yellow flags that would have been done if the Cowboys was playing. Okay? The Cowboys are playing, it's a strict penalty, whatever, and any screw up that the refs do themselves is not counted. It's not valid. They're exempt from any kind of punishment or any kind of reward for the teams. Super Bowl 56 came, and it was like, oh, just let them play whichever way they want. And that's the total bullcrap. Nobody's got it. This is what brings me back to nobody has anything to say about my Dallas Cowboys after Super Bowl 56. Super Bowl 56 was bullshit, pal. Super Bowl 56 sucked. Super Bowl 56 was just total. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. If plays aren't that good to where I can't stay off of my phone, it was a complete waste of time. The Dallas Cowboys, man, you could see it through an exact science. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you wondering where the which format they're going to take. And then when the play starts, given the fact that everybody is so out to get the Cowboys, it leaves open to, your mind automatically resorts to 2 to 3 different plays that can get done. Because and it makes sense when you see them because they got no choice doing the short pass on a 3rd and long or throwing long on a 2nd down, because of the advance that the opposing team is doing. And the quarterback then has to compensate for whatever it is that he needs to do to deal with this ongoing rush against him. I don't want to hear shit about Dak, how he fucks up and all this. Fuck that. Forget that. I don't want to hear none of that crap. The Super Bowl 56 is proof. Especially with as many times that they were getting sacked. Especially with all those incomplete passes. Especially with all those handoffs to where the person that the quarterback was handing off to was getting sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Holy crap. There was like 20 of them in one game. And you're overspitting on my Cowboys? Psh, whatever. No, not whatever. It's bullcrap. It is total bullcrap. Super Bowl 56 is proof of that. You got nothing on my boys. You got nothing on my boys. Shit. Shoot. You just, it was just a waste of time. A complete waste of time. I barely looked up from my phone because the plays were just that weak. The plays were just that horribly weak. The game sucked. To top it all off, LA Rams didn't win because of some phenomenal play. They won because the Bengals couldn't hold up their end right when the pressure counts. Right when the time came to be a pressure player, they wound up not making the winning touchdown. Okay? That's a huge difference from being so badass, that you can beat anybody, especially the Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys sucks. No, not by a long shot. Not when you're winning like that. The Cowboys rarely won off of the failures of other teams because the other team just couldn't measure up. The Cowboys always won off of their own efforts, even if it was all the way to the last minute, to the last second. Okay? The Cowboys always won like that. We were expecting to win that way on the playoffs. If it wasn't for that stupid the stupid referee that was interfering with the plays before they started. Some kind of technical bullcrap duties, responsibilities that he's got. And we saw nothing like that during the Super Bowl. Screw that. It's total bullcrap. But all of those things their plays, their foul ups, their follies leading up to injuries, their lack of compensating whenever that Beckham Jr. Got injured, when he misstepped and hurt his knee. He was out, and the LA Rams just plain sucked. And if it wasn't for them resorting to what the Cowboys usually do, using special teams players, third string, throwing out a third string out there to just to throw off everybody, to get the play done. If it wasn't for the LA Rams doing that crap, doing what a Dallas Cowboys team does, they would have never have won. They would have never have won. They were using some plays that the Cowboys have been doing since Romo's retirement, back when Dak was the brand new star. It was just total BS. Super Bowl 56 just plain sucked. It was the worst Super Bowl I've ever seen, and I've been watching them since birth, back in the year 1972. Okay, maybe not that far back. As far back as the late 70s, though. As far back as the late 70s, I've been watching them. So almost my whole entire life, with the exception of like the first 5 years of my life. Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl 56 was just downright stupid. It was downright wrong. It just plain sucked. So that's my spiel. Oh, and okay, I've still got about 10 more minutes. The halftime show. Oh, I did not like it. I like the performers, because they were playing the good songs. Here's the problem with it. Since as far back as the 90s and 80s, when they were first playing, all the way up to the 2000s, they weren't really playing the full songs. They were sort of cutting them. And the added instruments that they had, the instrument players, really wasn't changing things up. It wasn't really popping. It wasn't going a Third Avenue that would make it a cool version of the classic songs that they were doing. I will give big props to 50 Cent for keeping his shirt on. By this time, he wasn't wearing a six-pack. He wasn't carrying a six-pack. He was carrying a keg. And so for him to sit upside down, to hang upside down singing like the way he did in his music videos, this time with his shirt on, thank God. Because I was afraid that he was going to take that off, and I was just going to be all, oh no, that would have been bad, And throughout the whole show, it was horrible. It was just really, really bad. Mary J. Blige was okay in the fact that she wasn't trying to dance around like the 20-year-olds behind her, like the way she did back in the 1990s. Okay? She was okay. But all of them, not just Mary J. Blige, but all of them, all of the performers were huffing and puffing middle-aged wahoos that took me way back to Mariah Carey's New Year's Eve party, a New Year's Eve performance, where she was, trying to run around in a suit that she couldn't fit in, stumbling on her stilettos and huffing and puffing, trying to breathe while performing, and not doing any dance moves either. She was just really not doing anything spectacular, all of them, and Snoop Dogg, he was fine, but I this part is my fault. I forgot. When you go to see Snoop Dogg, you're going to hear the voice that's very calm and mellow, and which is a total, like, what the hell, in a stadium where the fans are going, wow, everybody's cheering and shouting and all this stuff, and amongst it, his voice just blurred right in there. His voice. And the one time you can hear him is make some noise. That was it. And it was like, what the hell? I was disappointed, but in a way I had to kick my own self in the pants for that expectation to be up there. Because I forgot that calm mellow is what Snoop Dogg does. So I couldn't hear him worth a darn. But it serves me right for not noticing, for not remembering that that's the way his performances go. I'm gonna move out of the sun into some shade here. While I'm doing that, it was just really, really sad. I thought there was gonna be some kind of really cool riffs once Dr. Dre was at the piano. I thought there was gonna be something really cool there. But he just did a couple of chords while Eminem took this knee. And oh my God, Eminem, he's a badass because he took a knee like Kaepernick. No, he's not. No, that old smartass, I'm a white smartass rapper, and all this other shit, that died a long time ago. When he was young, that stuff was cool. When he was a young man, young whippersnapper, if I could get away with saying that, that was cool. Him being a 30-year-old wahoo now, taking the knee, trying to be badass or whatever, that was stupid. I didn't even catch that until the reports came after the show. After the game. I mean, it wasn't even that immediate. That stuff, that was just stupid. It was dumb. It was weak. It was lame. And it went right in there with the show. That whole bringing the hood to Los Angeles Stadium. Technically, Los Angeles has a hood. And it sucks. Okay? It's still a disgusting, vile of waste of life place. No differently than every hood in across the nation. So to see them dancing on rooftops of this pop-up hood was just generically gay. It was dumb. The dancers, oh my God, they sucked. They sucked so bad. Doing the whole and then doing the throwing the hands in the air and all this other crap. It was just dumb. I mean, it was eye-appealing with the girls that were sticking their butts up in the air one way and then turning another direction and sticking their butts up in the air around 50 Cent. But after a while, even that started to drag. It was horrible. And everybody else, I mean, it was as messed up as, Tron the Musical or whatever it was that Black Eyed Peas was doing when they were doing the Super Bowl. I got the theme, but at the same time, there was really nothing worth a damn out of all those dancers in the field. It just sucked. I was really, really disappointed out of that. You could tell that the voices were audio over. Hardly any of it was, they were lip syncing. Hardly any of it was actual performance. And it was just bad. It was just really bad. I don't know what Mary J. Blige was doing. Somebody that I was at least expecting to respect up there on that stage was dressed up like the Mariah Carey performance. And I was, I honestly had to look away because I did not want to know if Mary J. Blige was too drunk to step down off of the high stage onto a lower level, or and all this other stuff, or just too difficult to move because of the outfit she was wearing. I couldn't look. I literally could not look at that. Not all the way through. I saw bits and pieces of it, but I had to turn away. So it's a flashback to Mariah Carey's performance, New Year's Eve performance and Black Eyed Peas Tron themed show. And much like both of those performances, when it came to the performers, they were all huffing and puffing and trying to get everything out. And at the same time, they were doing these cutoffs of their songs. They weren't really completing them. They weren't doing anything add-on, like when they brought out those instrument players. And there wasn't anything really cool. You know, the little touch-ups that they were doing and the little add-on. This thing, again, with you know, pulling up the piano, you know, on the rooftop of a, you know, which on the stage of this, whatever, you know, whatchamacallit. You know, it was good that they had the hydraulic systems to pick people up and all that. It was, you know, that was expected. But what wasn't was just everything that was just completely off target, you know, in what they were trying to do as far as performance-wise. All in all, it was just as much blech, and it sucked just as much as the football game itself. That football game sucked. Super Bowl 56 just downright sucked. And I'm hoping that NFL needs to step it up a whole lot better. We were supposed to be seeing something magnificent concerning these classic R&B performers, and it sucked. It just was not good. And the teams, oh my God, nobody out here now, as of now, because of this Super Bowl is 100% proof. Nobody's got any business looking down at any freaking teams, even and on a personal level, my Dallas Cowboys, for having every single thing that went wrong take place in one game, as opposed to the Dallas Cowboys, where they've done every screw up that we saw in that game, but it was throughout the season. It was after an entire season, and they lost because of that damn referee, not because of this bullcrap that we saw last night. Oh, by the way, it's February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. Monday, like usual, I always come up every Monday. Well, not every Monday. Lately, I've been having to work a lot. I don't know if you could see the double chin. I've been sitting in here munching, driving quite a bit this new year. So, yeah, might hit a gym soon. I'm gonna have to. But yeah, I mean, this was just god awful. Super Bowl 56 sucked. It was just horrible. So I hope, that being said, there's going to be another one coming up soon. It's about the border. I don't have the exact details, but turns out the state troopers and the Texas Republican Army, they're suing Greg Abbott. Big surprise. Why? Because my governor, who's just this dumbass, is sending military down to the border who aren't even arresting anybody. They're just standing at bases, and they're looking after. He's trying to get them to do guard duty again, like the way they did, you know, throughout the Obama years and into the Trump years. And I bring that up because, remember, from 2014 to 2018, during the Barack Obama into the Trump years, 4,500 cases of sexual trespass committed by the staff and law enforcement. Texas state troopers, committed by immigration, the ones that are in charge of guarding them, ICE, and border security, and then the faculty members that are supposed to look after them and the children. 187 of them, 187, ironically enough, were children. Okay? This is bad. We've got a governor that wants to do nothing but repeat this shit, not by having our troops, not by having our state troopers, our border troops, our border security, our ICE, all of these agents not tackling the actual traffickers, but guarding migrants and just letting them abuse and violate and rape full-grown adults and minors, little kids, to do that. Okay? Throughout this entire time, here in Texas, my governor has permitted this shit. Like Christopher Columbus thing, just look the other way and do whatever you want to the indigenous. This is what my lousy governor is responsible for, and he keeps trying and trying and trying with these suing the government and suing agencies here in Texas, stripping them of command and putting his men, who he says belongs there, to go through this subjectation of migrants all over again. Okay? This is what he did in the past, just a few years ago. This is what he's trying to do now. He's trying to get this accomplished. But here's a problem. Even the troopers, the state troopers, border security, the military, our Texas state military, they don't want to do this crap. And they're coming out, secretly with the voice box to block their voice, and the silhouette of their faces and all that. They're doing protected testimony, confessing that not only are they being sent out into the middle of nowhere, their lack of nourishment, lack of equipment, lack of surveillance, lack of any kind of aid, finances. A lot of them are paying out of their own pocket just to buy for stuff to eat. And some have gotten already for the past 6 months. It's all within this 1 year currently, within this year. 2 or 3 cases of suicide because of how this is turning out to be nothing but a depressive tactic at the expense of the taxpaying dollars, national taxpaying dollars, because again, Biden is suing the government. They're suing, Abbott is suing Biden. Abbott is suing the government. Abbott is suing everybody under the sun to get all this money to pay for a wall that still is not complete, still is not secured. Everything that fell down back when Trump was around has not been rebuilt. So, and this is just off of the top of my head what I've personally read. I haven't jotted any notes down. I haven't written everything down like the way I used to. I don't know, some of you have been watching. You might notice that I'm reading shit off of a spiral notebook. I've been writing everything down and making a lot of points and stuff, and it usually leads all the way back to the main subject. Usually. I'm not an actual journalist, and it's actually a lot of hard work to try to do it that way. But as far as the ranting goes, just ranting everything that I've researched, read about, and is still up here in my noggin. It's you're getting a lot of info right now just based off of what it was that I was broadcasting before, all the way up to today, recently now, with troops and military on the border who are not arresting anybody, they're not saving anybody, they're not guarding anybody, and they are, however, losing themselves financially, economically, financially, nutritionally, health-wise, mental health-wise, mental clarity, all the way up to where now there's about, I think it's 2 or 3 that have already committed suicide. So, with this going on, I've got to step up and throw up another report again throw out another report again. I got to make it clear, you know, I got to reiterate the bull crap that my governor is doing. It's a waste of time. It's a worthless waste of time. Needless to say, I'm not voting for the fool. Not anymore, man. This guy was just a big human waste of life. And it's time to replace him with another governor. One that's a hell of a lot more progressive. And I know what everybody's thinking. Beto lover. Beto's not even a Spanish guy. He's using his Spanish name to trick you to following him. Oh, it's not trickery. I know Beto is just a nickname. It's not luring me. It's making me want to give him a shot because of how awful and worthless our current governor is, who is just as pathetic as his predecessor, Rick Perry. Rick Perry sucked. I didn't think it could get that bad. Governor Greg Abbott, however, I mean, he tipped it off, man. He tipped the cake. He lowered that bar even lower to how much worthlessness, how devalued he is in the governor's chair. So, no, screw that. Yeah, am I voting for Beto? Hell yes. Hell yes. We could use the change. We could use the change of pace. But there's no way. I mean, unless some other person can top him off in the running elections. If there's somebody that's better, yeah, I'll find him and I'll vote for him and all this good stuff. That's going to be another broadcast. Also, early voting starts right now here in San Antonio, in Bexar County, that part of San Antonio. Everything central, northwest, and further out to the Medina area. I gotta say that there's a couple of reports that I'm gonna have to do. I might be doing them all this week, and then taking another break, sticking to working, just simply because we all spent so much throughout the winter and the new year. Winter's almost over, and we all gotta just go right back to focus, getting in focus. So that's the spiel there. I want to finish off with stay safe, keep social distancing, especially that because I really do like it. I like everybody 6 feet away from me, especially at the grocery stores. Stay safe, stay hygienic, always wash your hands. You don't have an STD. This kind of virus, it doesn't need to be an STD. If any of you ever had one of those, you always had to drink a lot of cranberry juice and always wash your hands. I'm not poking fun. It's just that it's an unfortunate truth. With this virus, well, you don't have to drink a lot of cranberry juice. You don't have to filter out anything. But you do got to wash your hands because a virus is a virus. It can still exist on a surface no differently than it can in the air. And if you're touching surfaces, you're susceptible to getting it. That's a given. I mean, that's just a law of nature. So keep washing your hands. Keep wearing the mask. Screw any anti-mask mandate. I like wearing the mask. I've gotten used to it. Me being a rideshare driver, having tons of people in my thing. I make mine, I suggest everybody make yours with the expression that you like the most, with the item that you like the most. I love coffee. I can't see myself not enjoying this in the form of expression. I strongly suggest everybody does the same. Make your mask. Yeah, it's a part of being safe anyway. Also, get the shot or whatever medicine that you need. Know your body. I know my body. You know, I know my body. I've been taking immunization shots and vaccination shots my entire life. You know, even simple stuff like the cold and flu shot, allergy shots. You know, right along there with virus shots like the measles and the mumps and chicken pox, chicken flu. I remember chicken flu being the thing. It was more or less a harmless virus, but because you could kill it with any other kind of virus or antibiotic, you know. I'd also gotten antibiotic shots, not just for STDs, mostly because of my sinuses. I am very susceptible to sinus infections in my old age. I'm 49 right now, and it's strange because age gives you a sign of how much time you got, you know, before your natural immunity starts to break down, you know. And I was allergic to nothing until my latter 30s. Until my latter 30s, I was really allergic to nothing, and I'd hardly ever get sinus problems, let alone a sinus infection. But once I got it, every season, every mold, every oak, every pollen, every cedar, high count of cedar, every high counts of molds and mildews, every time it pops up, and here in San Antonio, it pops up, all of those, it pops up, you know, on a routine basis, you know. Oh man, it would just hit me hard. And I still get occasionally sinus infection. There's no immunity from that. So I have to get my my allergy shots and an immunization shot and help make that work. That way I can keep dusting it off every time I get the symptoms. And that's the same thing with the COVID. COVID is still a virus that requires a specified type of vaccination. However, no matter what form it mutates in, when it gets on you, it's easily knockable, you know, once you get your shot. And the reason for it is because it still attacks it as what it originally was, a coronavirus styled virus, despite the fact that this one passes in the air. That's irrelevant, you know. The virus is still, you know, this particular type. And you got COVID-19, which branched off to Delta variant, which mutated, which Delta variant is the same thing, just a little bit more clingier. Omicron, same thing as the Delta virus, but spreads easier. The Delta variant, it's clingier and it spreads easier. And when it mutated to BA2 is like the Omicron, but it's a little bit more difficult to detect. Why? I don't know. Is it transparent? I'm not sure. However, these are the variants that we've got, the different mutations, and what's still a good gopher is the vaccinations. I had my Johnson & Johnson last year. I'm on my first Moderna instead of going back to Johnson & Johnson. I'm going to the Moderna now, and I'm going to be taking all three, the two, and then the booster. And then after enough time passes, then I'm going to go to the Pfizer. Why? Because those are all different variances of the vaccination that are designed to attack the coronavirus. And if you look at your medical records, those of you that have been taking vaccination shots, you know full well that that's what you've been doing this entire time. You've been taking all the various forms of vaccinations to handle the various forms of viruses or disease or infections. Okay? And then to top it all off, we've been using our better judgment we've been using our better judgment whether we need an actual vaccination or just something like an antibiotic, you know. And this is also where all of those that are saying, you know, ivermectin, they got a point. But, you know, that still, the catch to that is if your body needs more than just ivermectin, it needs a various accumulation of other ingredients, then it needs other ingredients. That one ingredient, that one drug is not going to cut it, you know? So, you know, yeah, do your research, do your body test, do your checkups and all this good stuff. Do everything to know what you need best. But most definitely take what you need. And in this case, vaccination, you know, get your shot. If you're one of those oddball bodied with a condition and you need some other medicine, sure, but take your medicine. Take the medicine. Don't just say, oh, I'll take hydroxychloroquine, you know, and that's it. And say that you're cured. That's bullcrap. For the coronavirus? Come on. You know, don't spit on the vaccination just because your body can take hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin or bleach. You know, don't spit on the vaccine. The vaccine helps people like me. Somebody that's used to it. Somebody that knows, somebody whose body knows is getting vaccinated when inoculated. So all in all, just be safe out there. Take all the precautions. Wear your damn mask. You know, there's really nothing wrong with it. You know, not everybody's going to be that crazy to see your face. Nobody really wants to look at your face. You know, so take it easy. Besides, the expressive ones are cooler anyway. You know? Get one with a picture on it. I'm looking for a mask with a bass coming out of the water because I like to fish. Ta-da. So yeah, wear your mask, stay safe, keep your distance, keep washing your hands, stay hygienic, and you know, take the medicine, even if it's a vaccination. Okay, that's all for today. I thought I was only reduced down to 20 minutes. I guess I used cleared all the data or something because we're in the 44th minute right now. So I am extremely happy that I got a chance to let all that out. I might not be doing as many reports now, but we'll see. The sole reason for bringing all of this up, once again, common sense thinking on common grounds viewpoints. Okay? None of this is to brainwash you. None of this is to mislead you. None of this is to tell you horror stories and scare you. None of this is to be in the form of rhetoric. None of this is in the form of a propaganda. I'm a servant to nobody except to my own self because I'm a rideshare driver. I don't really service any organization. I'm not part of a religious group or anything to that nature. I'm not anti any of that either. My Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, despite the fact that I don't bow down to whatever a church says, because that's eliminating a lot of common grounds viewpoints. I'm trying to hit it universally to where we all, you know, I know you could see eye to eye with me, and I could see eye to eye with every one of you. You know, hence the reason why I say take the vermectin if that's what your body calls for it. Take the hydraulic one if that's the safest way to go. You know, take your vaccinations. If that's the best thing that's your body needs. You know, So, y'all take care. This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out. Good to see y'all again. Take care.